Western media often paints a fearsome picture of Kali, sometimes even depicting her as a demonic figure. But this portrayal misses the profound spiritual depth behind her striking appearance. She is, in fact, the Mahadevi, the great mother goddess, revered as a powerful and compassionate liberator. This common misunderstanding stems from a surface-level interpretation of her symbolism. To truly understand Kali, we must look beyond the initial shock and explore the rich tapestry of meaning woven into her form. Let's deconstruct the powerful imagery of Kali, moving from misunderstanding to enlightenment. We'll explore her garland of severed heads, her famously protruding tongue, and her unbound naked form. Through this journey, we'll uncover her true nature as the ultimate reality, the feminine force that creates, preserves, and ultimately dissolves the universe. She is the liberator of souls, guiding us beyond fear and illusion. Kali's most confronting feature is perhaps her garland of 50 severed heads. These are not trophies of a bloodthirsty deity, as some might wrongly assume. Each head represents one of the 50 letters of the Sanskrit alphabet, the building blocks of sound and creation. This Varnamala or garland of letters signifies that Kali is the source of all language, all knowledge, and all mantras. The heads are also symbolic of the ego, the limited sense of I that keeps us bound to the cycle of birth and death. By wearing these heads, Kali shows that she has severed the attachments and illusions of the ego. She is the ultimate consciousness that has transcended all finite identities. She wears our limitations as her ornaments, demonstrating her power to liberate us from them. In her hands, she often holds a freshly severed head, not as a sign of violence, but as a symbol of liberation from the ego. It represents the devotees' offering of their own limited self to the Divine Mother, asking her to free them from ignorance. The scimitar, or curved sword, that she wields is the sword of Jnana, or divine knowledge, which cuts through the bonds of delusion and frees the soul. Kali is the embodiment of spiritual liberation, and her garland of heads is a profound reminder that true freedom is found by transcending the ego and a limited sense of self. It is a call to surrender our attachments and fears at her feet, allowing her to guide us toward a state of pure, unbound consciousness. Another iconic and often misinterpreted aspect of Kali is her protruding tongue held between her teeth. This is not a gesture of mindless rage or aggression. Specific posture tells a powerful story from the Puranas, one that reveals her complex nature and her relationship with her divine consort, Shiva. According to the legend, a powerful demon named Raktabija had a boon that made him seemingly invincible. Every drop of his blood that touched the ground would sprout a new, equally powerful clone of himself. In the ensuing battle, the more the gods fought him, the more his army multiplied, and the battlefield was soon overrun. In desperation, the gods turned to the supreme feminine energy, Shakti. From the brow of the goddess Durga, the fierce and unstoppable form of Kali emerged. With her vast, open mouth, she began to consume the demons, but the real challenge was Raktabija's blood. To prevent even a single drop from reaching the earth, Kali spread her long tongue across the entire battlefield, drinking every drop of blood as it fell. She single-handedly annihilated the demon and his countless clones. After her victory, Kali was in a state of bhava samadhi, a divine ecstasy, an uncontrollable fury from the battle. She began a dance of destruction that threatened to destroy the entire cosmos. The gods were powerless to stop her. In a final, desperate act, Lord Shiva, her consort, lay down among the bodies on the battlefield. As Kali danced, she unknowingly stepped upon Shiva's chest. The moment her foot touched him, she realized her mistake. In a sudden jolt of awareness and embarrassment, a characteristic known as lajja, she bit her tongue. This act instantly calmed her divine fury, bringing her destructive dance to a halt and saving the universe. So, her protruding tongue is not a symbol of rage, but of a sudden, self-aware pause. It represents the power of consciousness to control even the most primal and destructive energies. It shows that even in her most terrifying form, Kali is capable of self-control and is ultimately subordinate to the stillness and pure consciousness represented by Shiva. It is a moment of divine realization, a story of balance between dynamic energy and static consciousness. Kali's nakedness, or her Digambara form, is another element that is often seen through a lens of fear or misinterpretation. In many cultures, nakedness can be associated with shame or impropriety. But in the spiritual context of Kali, it represents a state of absolute purity and truth, completely beyond all worldly illusions and coverings. She is depicted as sky-clad, meaning her only covering is the vast, limitless expanse of space itself. This symbolizes her nature as the ultimate reality, the formless and infinite consciousness that precedes all creation. Just as space contains everything within it, Kali encompasses the entire universe. She is unbound by any form, name, or social convention. Her nakedness signifies that she is beyond Maya, the cosmic illusion that veils the true nature of reality. Clothes, ornaments, and social identities are all part of this Maya. By being naked, Kali stands as the unadorned, unconditioned truth. She is the raw, untamed power of nature and consciousness, stripped of all artifice. This state also represents her complete innocence and purity, like that of a small child. She is free from the dualities of good and bad, pure and impure, right and wrong that govern our mortal world. She exists in a state of non-dual awareness, seeing all of creation as a manifestation of herself. Her naked form challenges our conventional notions of decency and forces us to look beyond the physical to the spiritual. It is a powerful statement that true spirituality lies in transcending all limitations, including the social constructs we wrap around ourselves. Kali's nakedness is a symbol of absolute freedom, the ultimate goal of the spiritual path. She is the primordial energy, pure and unashamed, inviting us to shed our own layers of illusion and experience the liberating truth of our own divine nature. Kali's name itself is derived from the Sanskrit word kala, which means both time and death. As such, she is the goddess of time, change, and transformation. She is the force that governs the cycles of creation, preservation, and dissolution. Everything that is born in time must eventually die in time, and Kali presides over this entire cosmic process. She is often depicted standing or dancing on the seemingly inert body of Shiva. This is not a sign of domination, but a profound philosophical statement. Shiva represents Purusha, pure, formless consciousness, which is static and unchanging. Kali, on the other hand, represents Prakriti, the dynamic, creative energy of the universe. Without Kali, Shiva is static potential. Without Shiva, Kali is untamed, chaotic energy. Together, they represent the two fundamental aspects of reality, consciousness and energy. Her dance upon his chest signifies that all of creation, all movement, and all time unfold upon the foundation of unchanging, eternal consciousness. Her association with death is not something to be feared. In Hindu philosophy, death is not an end, but a transition. Kali is the liberator who frees the soul from the confines of the physical body. Her domain is the cremation ground, a place where the five elements of the body are returned to their source and the ego is dissolved. By confronting death, we are forced to confront the impermanence of life and the illusion of the ego. Kali is the compassionate mother who guides us through this ultimate transition. She destroys our fear of death by showing us that our true self, the Atman, is eternal and unaffected by the passage of time. She is the darkness of the womb from which all life emerges, and the darkness of dissolution to which it returns, promising renewal and rebirth. She is the ultimate compassionate mother, whose fierce love liberates us from the cycle of time and death itself. So, when we see Kali, we should not see a demon of destruction. We should see the Great Mother, the ultimate reality that is beyond all names and forms. We see the liberator of souls, the destroyer of illusion, and the embodiment of fierce unconditional love. Her garland of heads represents knowledge and the transcendence of the ego. Her extended tongue signifies self-control and the delicate balance of cosmic forces. Her nakedness is the symbol of ultimate truth and freedom from all illusion. She is the feminine force that dances through time, reminding us that true freedom lies in embracing change and transcending fear. Kali challenges us to look beyond appearances and confront our deepest fears. In her terrifying beauty, we find the promise of liberation and the boundless compassion of the Divine Mother who guides us from darkness to light. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the profound symbolism of Mahakali. If you found this journey enlightening, please consider subscribing to our channel, Sanatan Puranas. For more deep dives into the heart of ancient wisdom, we look forward to seeing you again.